We're going to call people of the state of Michigan versus Micah Saray Taylor. This is case 22T01926FY. This was a charge of carrying a concealed weapon. It's been amended to conspiracy to recklessly carry a firearm consistent with the plea agreement. Okay, enter your appearance.
Good morning, Judge. Brenda Bendel, I'm here today on behalf of Ms. Taylor. Ms. Taylor is standing to the right.
And let me swear you in, ma'am. Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth to the best of your knowledge, understanding, and belief?
Yes, ma'am.
What is your full legal name?
Micah Saray Taylor.
All right, so have both of you had an opportunity to review the pre-sentence report?
Yes.
Judge, we have. I read it to her and then I gave it to her for her to read.
Are there any additions, corrections, or clarifications that either one of you wants to make?
Judge, my client didn't bring any changes and corrections to my attention.
Are there any additions, corrections, clarifications?
No, sir.
So as far as both of you are concerned, the report is accurate?
Yes,
That
Judge.
is correct.
Okay. You went to jail for 9 days on this?
No, it wasn't 9, it was 3 or 4, I believe.
Well, okay. Well, Ms. Bendel, what do you want to tell me before I proceed to sentencing?
It's working. Tie seven. And she works as a medical professional, correct?
No, I'm a quality auditor.
A quality.
But I am a medical interview.
Okay, but she's working as a quality auditor. And she is a mom. She has obligations to take care of. And I don't think she meant any ill in this case, Judge. I think it was just kind of a case of my client being careless and a little bit negligent. She didn't handle matters the way she should have. But I really, truly don't think you're going to see her back in this court again. I think this was a learning experience for her. You're going to be much more careful with guns in the future, correct, Ms. Taylor?
Yes.
Okay. Judge, I don't think any additional jail time is warranted, and I really don't think that she needs to be placed on probation. I would ask the court simply to have her attend the class, maybe a red belt firearm safety class, and give proof to the court that she's completed that class and have her pay costs and fines, and the weapon should be forfeited. And I would ask that should be the extent of the judgment in this case, Your Honor.
She was high when she had the gun, driving down the street.
I hadn't smoked. I had just got off of work. I wasn't high then, but it may have been in my system, but I had just gotten off of work. I had just gotten off the highway.
So let me ask you this, ma'am. Are you saying that I should feel comfortable with you driving around with a gun and marijuana in your system? I should feel real good about that. I should feel comfortable and safe being around you in that sort of situation. Other people should feel comfortable and safe being around you in that situation, that nothing bad is going to happen. Is that what you're saying to me?
Well, Your Honor, I didn't carry that gun with me all the time.
What difference does it make? I'm not talking about all the time. I'm talking about this situation. I'm not talking about all the time. Listen to what I'm saying to you. I'm talking about in general. Everybody should feel comfortable and safe with you having drugs in your system, with the gun in the car that you don't even have a CPL permit for. We should all feel comfortable in that situation with you, with drugs in your system, with the gun in the car.
No.
And why should we feel uncomfortable about that?
I'm not. I don't know how to put this.
That's why we're having this discussion.
I'm not riding around high with a gun on a daily. I am a,
How many times does it take for something bad to happen? You got to do it 20 times or one time?
You're sorry, it'll never happen again, right?
Mr. Scott,
Your Honor,
this is not your client.
Ms. Bendel, allow me.
Be professional and allow Ms. Bendel, who has 30 years as a criminal attorney, to do her job. I don't know why you're interrupting. That's inappropriate.
I mean, I'm unprofessional.
Right now, you bet you are.
Well, you might have to find a new defender for all these people if I'm now unprofessional for telling someone they're sorry.
You don't have the right to, you're not even on this case.
All right.
Now, if you can't be professional in here, don't come in
The
here.
second time I'm not professional.
How dare you interrupt my record with Ms. Bendel is on this case?
Ma'am,
I'm gonna-
I'm totally professional judge to handle this case on my own.
You better believe it. She's got 30 years experience. Mr. Scott, nobody asked you to chime in.
Well, let me know when you guys are done with whatever this is going on.
Okay. As I was saying, how many times would it take for something bad to happen when they're under the influence with a gun driving around? 20 times you got to do it? One time? I mean, you understand what I'm really
I
saying?
understand what you're saying, Judge, and
I mean,
that was.
you're wait a minute. You are a mother. You have children. Would you want your children to be around somebody who's got drugs in their system and has got a gun in the car with them or in the car next to them at a stoplight? Would you want your kids to be around somebody like that?
No, and I understand.
So why are you trying to minimize your conduct?
I'm not trying to minimize my conduct.
Yes, you are. When you say, I don't do this on the daily, it isn't like I do this all the time. That is exactly what you're trying to do. That is exactly trying to minimize your conduct.
Your Honor, I'm sorry. I made a mistake. And no, and I made a mistake. And I won't. It's not gonna happen again. It's not gonna happen again. I can't. I mean, I don't want my kids to see me going through this. This has been a learning experience.
Man, you had a felonious assault charge that got amended to stalking 9 years ago, right?
That was because of domestic violence, sir. There was more to that story than what.
Well, you pled to stalking.
I had to plead down.
Why?
No, I didn't want that charge.
Ma'am, did I indicate to you when you entered the plea that I didn't want you consuming alcohol or marijuana or illegal or controlled substances? It might not have been, it might have been whoever arranged you told you that. But do you remember that pot and condition?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And yet you were smoking marijuana and drinking before you had this interview with the probation department. I mean, let me tell you something. We have one of the highest violent crime rates in the country. We might not be in the top 10 anymore, you know, but that's.
I didn't. Can you repeat that? I didn't hear it.
Okay. Flint, Michigan has historically had a high violent crime rate.
Mhm.
I don't know if we are in the top 10 right now, and we may have fallen off of some of these bad lists because the population has dropped under 100,000. So, when they're compiling a list of cities over 100,000, well, we're not going to be on there because we're down to 80,000 or something like that. So, ma'am, if you don't think that some of the violence that we have is happening when people are drunk or high because their inhibitions are lowered.
Oh, I definitely believe that. I can agree with you on that.
Okay. All right. So this is concerning to me. This is very concerning to me. It really is. And I'll tell you what really why did you have the gun in the car with you that particular day, since you want to talk about that day?
Because I work in Howe, I live in a neighborhood that's not good. I have to drive back and forth to work every day. And then I'm coming in the house by myself at night. That was the only reason I purchased the gun anyway.
Well, no, I'm asking you. Okay, wait a minute. Hang on. You told me a few minutes ago, I don't carry the gun on the regular. This is something that's, a little bit out of the ordinary. I don't think those are your exact words, but you said I don't carry the gun on the regular. That's what you told me. So now I'm asking you why you had the gun that particular day. Now you're telling me, well, I have the gun because, I live in a dangerous neighborhood and I go to work out of town and I'm coming home at night. That's what you said. So that's almost suggesting to me that you do carry it every day. So I don't understand. You're trying to minimize this.
I know that I'm not trying to minimize it in any way. I guess now that I look at it and you're putting it the way that you're putting it, I can't minimize it. It is serious. In the beginning, I was trying to minimize it because I'm thinking, well, I'm not a criminal. I don't care. I'm not out with my gun all day, every day, brandishing my gun, or everybody knows I have a gun, or it was just something to keep me and my kids safe.
So having the gun in your possession while you have drugs in your system is keeping your kids safe.
At that time, I wasn't looking at it like that, Judge.
Has this been a learning experience for you?
Yes, it has. I said that. I don't want my kids to see. My kids have had to see me go through this. I don't want them to see me going through this. My kids are my first priority.
How old are they?
18 and 13. Very good kids.
And your children wouldn't do well if they were locked up, would they?
No, they would not.
So it's very important you to stay out of jail.
Yes, it is.
So you have to follow the rule, the law.
How did you do on the field sobriety test that they gave you at the side of the road there?
That's Judge, I need a moment here to find out the police report.
What's that?
I need a moment to look that up for the police report.
Okay.
She had a .02 in the PBT. And they give the field test, they ask you to walk around.
Yeah.
Field sobriety, okay, it said, okay, I have it, Judge. On the field sobriety, so standard field sobriety test, it showed that there was a lack of smooth pursuit in both eyes. My highest eyes had difficulty following the trooper's finger. And on the walk and turn, it said she couldn't balance while listening to instructions, and she does not touch heel to toe. And she loses balance while walking. That was just, I was just reading from the.
Yeah, no, I know. So that's not true? That's not how it happened, Ms. Taylor?
She disagrees with this, Judge.
Yeah, with that part, yeah.
It also said that she puts foot down and sways while balancing and uses arms for balance.
Because I kept telling him that I have a bad knee and a bad ankle because I have fainting spells. And for some reason, when I faint, I always faint to that side. So, and I kept telling him that my knee and my foot is messed up. I kept telling him that I'm not gonna be able to do that.
So how come you couldn't touch your nose?
Yeah.
On the finger to nose test?
I did.
Index finger did not touch nose. Left finger touched bridge of the nose. You didn't touch it the way they wanted you.
You don't remember all this? She doesn't seem to have a full recollection of what happened on this, Judge.
That was last year.
I think this was just overall a very bad situation for her. I think maybe sometimes people kind of blot out bad situations from their memory. I'm not trying to make excuses here, Judge. I mean, I know this is very serious, but I do think it's been a real wake-up call for her.
Yes, it has.
Because you can't break the law and stay out of jail on a long-term basis. And I've explained to her if she comes back in court again, the next time she's probably going to face a tougher sentence than she would today. But we are asking for the court's mercy, Your Honor.
She couldn't even go whatever the time frame is from the date of the plea, which was August the 4th, to the date of the interview. I'm not sure when that was.
It was September 6th.
Yeah, okay. The report's written September 6th, so I don't know if they wrote it the same day or not. Okay, but my point is, you could even go, you couldn't go 30 days without drinking or smoking dope. You couldn't even go 30 days without doing it.
I may need treatment.
Well, you told the probation people you don't have a substance abuse problem.
I mean, I don't
That's what you told them.
I don't think I do.
Ma'am, listen to me. If you can't go, and I don't know how quickly you were, well, you said 2 weeks. So you said you had last smoked marijuana 2 weeks before the interview. So you only made it assuming you did it once. You only went 2 weeks. You could only go 2 weeks without violating the bond conditions about ingesting drugs or alcohol. So I mean that you do have a problem. That's what that says to me. Now, maybe it hasn't caused you to lose your job or you haven't had a drunk driving wreck where 3 people got killed. But you got a problem in terms of being able to abstain from this stuff. And again, add a gun to the mix, and I'm really uncomfortable.
But the gun is no longer an issue.
Ma'am, you could go,
I can't get another one.
ma'am, I could, I don't know about me because somebody might recognize who I am, but I bet you that I could go and get a gun not legally in a half an hour.
Oh, I don't buy illegal things. I don't buy illegal things. My gun is registered. No, I don't buy nothing illegal.
I'm saying to you, of course you could get a gun. How would I'm not following you around every day. How would I stop you?
because I'm letting you know I learned from this. I don't want to have anything else to do with them.
Well, the neighborhood didn't get any safer,
And I explained to you.
and the job didn't get any closer.
I explained to you when I was here on my last, when I was here last time, that since this incident, I've installed a security alarm at my home with cameras.
That's a good idea.
So I did go ahead and do that. And I won't be on second shift anymore. In a week and a half, I'll be going to first shift. So I won't have to be worried about coming home at night late.
Ma'am, how old are you, if you don't mind me asking? I don't think I can tell you what to do. I think you're going to do whatever you want.
Not when it pertains to this. No, I'm not gonna do what I want. I have to do what I'm told. Because I'm not coming back.
Okay. So what are you going to do because I'm going to tell you, if I put you on probation, you know, I'm going to say you can't drink, you can't smoke, you know, I'm going to say that. So how are we going to get you some kind of assistance with that?
I can get my own assistance. I'll just go back and see my vehicle and provide my antidepressant.
Have them prescribe what?
My antidepressant.
You've been on some antidepressants?
Yes, I have before.
This is I'm getting more and more concerned. I really am.
It's not an antidepressant, it's a mood thing. Just to keep me level. I'm not gonna say
I'm sorry, I didn't
like,
hear you.
I don't wanna hurt myself. I don't have thoughts of hurting myself or hurting other people or anything. It's just that when you have things that you went through in your life, sometimes you need things to help you cope.
I'm not, that's true.
And that's the only.
And that's a good
That's
thing.
the only reason.
I would encourage that. I would, believe me. People shouldn't, you know, if they need help, they need to get it.
And I'm not ashamed to say that. And I'm not ashamed to go get it.
Right. I'm just, it's the gun and that. Any one of these by itself would be a problem.
I understand.
All right, so here's what I'm going to do. Okay, sense of the court. Anything else you guys want to tell me before I proceed?
Judge, I think we covered this one.
Okay. Sense of the court is going to be as follows. You pled guilty to the amended charge of conspiracy to recklessly carry a firearm. You're represented by counsel. I'm going to sentence you to 360 days in the county jail, give you credit for 9. The report said you spent 9, so I'm going to just go with that. Even though you thought it was less, it might have been less because of day for day or something, so I don't know. But I'm going to go with 9. So that leaves 351. I'm going to hold that in abeyance. You've got to pay a fine of $700, court cost of $100, state fee of $50, crime victims fee is $75, probation supervision fee is $360. Total is $1,285.
1,000, how much, Judge?
$1,285. And we'll have that due on September 29th, 2023. Okay? You're going to be on probation for 12 months. You have to abide by the terms of probation. You're going to do mental health counseling. I want you to resume that. Go back to going to your therapist. And I want you to do substance abuse treatment as recommended by the probation department. If the fines and costs are not paid by October 2nd, or excuse me, by September 29th, you would have to come here on October 2nd, 2023 to explain show cause why you didn't pay the fine. Now, let me go through the terms of the probation. You're not to violate any criminal law of any unit of government. All police contact must be reported to probation within 2 business days. Do you understand?
Yeah.
You're not to leave Michigan without consent of the court. Do you understand?
Yeah.
You're to make a truthful report to the probation officer monthly or as often as the probation officer may require, either in person, virtually, or in writing, or as required by the probation department. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Notify the probation officer immediately of any change of address, phone number, email address, and or employment status. Do you understand?
Yeah.
You're not to violate the terms of probation. You must not exhibit any antisocial behaviors. Do you understand?
Antisocial behavior?
Yes. Do not exhibit antisocial behavior. You must refrain from the use of all intoxicants, alcohol, and drugs while on probation. No recreational marijuana, prescription drugs only as prescribed by a licensed physician, and submit to drug testing. You understand?
Yes.
You have to seek and maintain full-time employment and or continue your education. Do you understand?
Yes.
You have to attend and complete any alcohol or drug therapy program as recommended by the probation department. Do you understand?
Yes.
You are to cooperate and carry out any terms of probation that may be set, including consultation with any physician or agency appropriate for rehabilitation. Do you understand?
Yes.
You are not to purchase or possess a firearm, and that is going to be on the police lien computer. Do you understand that?
That's why. Yes. Yes.
All right. So we talked about the fees. There is no restitution or anything. So
But can I ask you something, Ron?
yes, ma'am.
Why so much with the fees? Like I said, my daughter is graduating this year. And that's gonna be higher on me.
Yeah, I think that's the idea.
I mean, I don't want her to have to make because of my mistake.
Oftentimes, children have to pay the price when their parents mess up. I mean, that's all I can tell you. I'm giving you a whole year to pay the fine. So I don't know what you're talking. You got a whole year. You can pay on it in installments if you want. I mean, you know, it'd be $107 a month. How much does the gun cost? $500. Well, maybe you won't be buying a gun or 2 of them.
I don't want to do it anymore.
I think you want, ma'am, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. Come on.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it part of the sentence that the gun that she had in this incident is forfeited?
Yes, that was part of the plea bargain, and I guess I should make sure that I write that in.
I just wanted to make sure it was in there. That's all.
Well, I'm going to put it in here under other, because she's got to, they do have other provisions here. Well, I'm giving you a break on the probation supervisory fee. They want to charge you $420. I'm only charging you $360. And they're going to yell at me because I did that, but so what? You've got to go to the BSSA Red Zone Firearm Safety class. Do you understand that?
Yes. That was, yes.
and the gun is to be forfeited. All right. That is the sentence. Any questions? Any more questions?
Judge, I have no questions. And thank you for your time, sir.
No problem.